Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having a Cancer Sun and Sagittarius Moon in a natal chart. Now, first off, as far as the basic character goes, which in this case is the Sun in Cancer, it can be very tenacious, sympathetic, caring, devoted, dedicated, protective, and security conscious. When you have the Sagittarius moon, on a more unconscious level, the moon is the conscious side of the person, the sun is the conscious side. On the unconscious side, well, the person may be very expansive, optimistic, let's say outdoorsy, adventurous, exuberant, blunt, enthusiastic. And I mean, this is like many sun-moon combinations. You have a strong contrast and disparity between the energies. The Cancer Sun, what makes this interesting is the Cancer Sun is, the basic character is very introverted, and home can be a homebody, dominated by domestic matters. I should know something about this having a Cancer Sun. The Sagittarius Moon is almost the opposite because you look at Sagittarius and it's a sign associated with the outdoors, adventure, foreign travel. So you have, a little bit, like a tug of war with this energy as far as, the Cancer Sun traits and the Sagittarius Moon on an unconscious level. Um, and this is as far as how this combination, may manifest and work together. Well, this person may bring those dedicated and devoted Cancerian sun qualities into something that could be Sagittarius related, such as sports, publishing, advertising, adventure, exploration, college teaching, theology, as some examples. And the Cancer Sun, wants, as far as the Sun is about our basic wants. The Cancer Sun strongly wants, a home, family, safety, and security. And the Sagittarius Moon is more, needs. The Moon is about our emotional needs, and Sagittarius Moon needs to expand horizons, travel abroad, global communications, as some examples. And the Sun, in astrology, is about our true self. And having the Sun in Cancer, the true self, can be very nurturing, emotional, protective, tenacious, temperamental. And the inner self, which is the Moon being in Sagittarius, the Moon is our inner personality or inner demeanor. And the Moon in Sagittarius can be very jovial, positive, upbeat, and enthusiastic, as some examples. And also to keep in mind, the Sun is about our driving motivation. And this person may be very driven and motivated, which is the Sun, to do things that they're comfortable with. And Cancer is about what we feel comfortable in, and doing them, with optimism, more exuberance, joviality, which is Sagittarius. And the thing about this is an adjustment. I mean, this is an inconjunct aspect, and an inconjunct aspect is 150 degrees. And the thing about this is, the adjustment may be needed if it is an inconjunct aspect. Let's say if the Cancer Sun is at 28 degrees, and the Sagittarius Moon, is at 29 degrees, that would form inconjunct aspect. And it can be, inconjuncts, as I stated before, can require an adjustment. It can reflect too much or too little of something. It might be too much, that Cancerian Sun, wanting introversion and having all their safety and security. And the Sagittarius Moon, could be too much of that need, to travel abroad, go to foreign countries, too much outdoors, and it could be like kind of a, back and forth, tug of war with the indoors and outdoors. thing about, as far as the wants and needs of this person. Now, I knew somebody many years ago that had this combination, and I believe it with him, a lot of it sadly manifested on that, the Cancer Sun, can be, a negative manifestation can be defensive and get hurt easily. Their feelings hurt easily, sensitive to criticism and ridicule. And even if I'd be joking, he would, a lot of times he would respond in a way and, becoming, I felt, defensive. In the Sagittarius moon, the moon is about, our reactions and responses. And he would become, give me a very, sometimes very blunt and tactless response. And, to the point where it could demoralize somebody. I mean, Sagittarius moon, they talk about, the moon in Gemini, being, insensitive and, their emotional versatility. But, the Sagittarius moon, what's not talked about a lot is that, they're not always overly, sensitive to others' feelings, because they'll throw those, those harsh arrows of truth, or what they believe is the veritable truth, and it can really, hurt people. And the moon remembers about our feelings, and they're not overly concerned if those harsh remarks that actually hurt someone's feelings or not. So people got to also look at Sagittarius moon as well, as far as, certain sensitivity. But, Sagittarius moon on a positive side is, again, they can be very humorous, very upbeat and jocular, and it helps, balance, in this particular case with the Cancer Sun, the Cancer being a feminine sign, which is pessimistic and negative, you have the Sagittarius moon can be more, uplifting. So it does help balance those energy out a little. But the thing about this is as well, keep in mind, okay, in astrology, the sun, represents the biological father, and the moon reflects the mother. And somebody that has the sun in Cancer, may have the biological father may actually be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant person, or embody those characteristics. And the person, with the Sagittarius moon, the mother may be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant person, or embody those traits. Remember, it can also be about the perception of the biological father and mother, respectively. Somebody with a Cancer sun may see the biological father as someone, it's very nurturing, tenacious, protective, yet fickle and temperamental, maybe. And the Sagittarius moon, the person may see the mother, as somebody, that's adventurous, exuberant, optimistic, yet can be blunt and tactless. And that interesting, that person, I was telling you about, that had the Cancer sun and the Sagittarius moon, if I'm not mistaken, the mother had a Sagittarius moon as well, interestingly enough. But anyway, and it's also, this is, in some cases, this can make an out of sign opposition. Now, let's say if the Cancer sun is at 0 degrees and the Sagittarius moon is at 28 degrees, that would form an out of sign opposition, and it may feel more like a tug of war between the energies. And also it can increase the propensity of a divorce or separation between the biological father and mother, because the sun again is connected with the biological father and the moon is the mother. But you got to also look at other synastry between the mother and the biological father. A lot of the relationship, whether it stays intact or not, can be predicated on that as well. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.